Hello, it's Sarah Berry from stampwithsarah.co.uk. Today I have a collection of 20 thank you cards using the This Little Piggy stamp set from Stampin' Up. Now, as you can see, I've chosen the pig in the top right of this stamp set, which is the one that's sitting down. He's sitting down in the mud, and underneath it says This Little Piggy, and then I've chosen Says Thanks. Now the Says Thanks is on block C and the pig is on the clear block D. On the blocks you'll see a circle with a letter inside, and that corresponds to the type of block it is, so what size it is. I'm inking up the pig in the Tuxedo Black Memento ink and stamping down directly into a circle which has been die cut using the stitched framelits. Now this is the largest circle in the collection. Now this particular stamp set I'm using is actually a clear mount stamp set, which means it's a red rubber stamp, but you pop it onto your clear block so you can see around the outside. Now this paper is the Fresh Florals Designer Series paper, and there's lots of different patterns in this pack. We have 5 different colours, and the colours are actually the in colours for 2017 to 2019. This pink shade is called Powder Pink, and I'm using Powder Pink ink from a refill bottle to add a bit of colour onto the pig's body. Now to do this I've just got my ink refills, and I'm going to pop a blob of ink onto a clear block. Now I've got a clear block which is one of the larger ones, which is block E, and I've used this one as a little palette. So I just take off the lid of the ink refill and put a blob onto my block. Now seeing as I'm doing 20, I'm using quite a lot of ink. Now that is far too much for if you're just colouring one pig. So I've got Powder Pink for his body and Pear Pizzazz for the blades of grass, and then I've got Soft Sky for some sky which is quite appropriately named for this card. And then the last colour on this card will be the Soft Suede, which is the brown pen. Now I've just chosen the pen because I'm just going along underneath the pig for the mud. Now I'm using an aqua painter, which is just a pen filled with water, and you can squeeze the middle section and add water to your image. Now what I do is I add water to my actual pool of ink rather than onto the paper. This paper that I'm using is Whisper White, just regular thin Whisper White from Stampin' Up that we sell. I'm not using any watercolour paper, and I'm not using the thick paper either. I find Whisper White can take a little water, but because I'm not squeezing the middle section of the pen and I'm just using it to simply smooth the ink evenly around the image, I find that the paper doesn't screw up, or you don't get any bleeding or bubbles. If you add too much water to this paper, you will find that you will start to see it's breaking up and the fibres breaking up, but as long as you don't go overboard with it, you will be absolutely fine. So I've just coloured in my first pig with Powder Pink on his body. You can see his head's a little bit darker, and I've left his ears and his nose a bit lighter, but you'll see a little bit later on that I do go back over those sections. Now I just turned my pig upside down because I found that easier to colour in the sky in the background around him. It just made it easier, and so if you have a go with this, just turn your pig upside down and see what a difference it makes when you're colouring in the sky. Now here's that soft suede marker pen, and it's very handy with that brush tip, the thick end. One end of those pens is a thicker paintbrush style nib, and the other is more of a writing normal pen. Now I've got one of my favourite products of all time, and I'm shaking it furiously because it's actually running out. This is my Wink of Stella in the clear, which is a silver effect. It's a very light silver that you can colour over various images, and I thought it would be perfect to use this on my pig. Now, because mine's running out, I used it sparingly on my 20 pigs, but a little, to be honest, a little of the Wink of Stella goes a long way, so you'll only really want to use it on little sections. Now the pen, the Aqua Painter, is different to a Wink of Stella. Even though they look the same, you don't actually squeeze the Wink of Stella at all. It's just got a constant steady flow, and you can't actually even squeeze it because it's quite a firm pen to use. Now I've got my favourite choice of glue at the moment. I've got my Tombow multi-purpose adhesive. One end is a fine tip, and I use that fine tip to go around the outside to apply my pattern paper or my matte layers for my cards. And a little goes a long way. You don't need a lot. The other end of the Tombow is a thick brush end, and I don't really tend to use that, but it is handy on occasion. Now I've got some of our large foam pads, which are dimensionals. We actually have a new range of foam pads out this year, and they are mini Stampin dimensionals. So for one large Stampin dimensional, you can get 4 minis really out of one. So that just shows you the size difference. But I've gone for the large ones today. Now, just before I add my circle on, I just give it a bend and encourage it to go towards the card. It just helps it sit better. And there we go, there is my first pink piggy on front of my card. Now I'm trying to catch that Wink of Stella in the light. There you go, you can just see it there. It really does make a difference. Now for the inside of the card, I've got a piece of Whisper White which I've just cut down, so I've got a nice even pink border when you open the card. It's about 5mm all the way around. Now I want to put, you'll just remember the quick clip I showed you at the start of the video. Now I want to put a little pig peeking at you when you open the card. So I've chosen this pig, and I'm just going to pop him on the same block as before, which is block D, and I'm going to ink him in Memento just like before, and just catch the front of his face with the ink there. I don't need to waste too much ink. I don't need to ink up all of his body because I am only catching that front part. I'm just double checking that I don't get the words. There's words at the bottom of these. This one, which is hugs and kisses. There we go. Isn't he cute? Peeking around. So I will go off and do 20 of these for my for what I need for my thank you cards for my customers. But I will just show you this one quickly. So again, just colouring in using that powder pink. It looks very orange on the screen, but I promise you it is pink. The little a little colour of this ink goes a long way. So you can see I'm not really going into the middle of that pool of ink. I'm just touching it on the edge, and then it's important to notice that I am wiping off the excess ink on the bottom right of my grid paper there, just to get rid of all of that colour. I don't want to put my pink in with my blue, or the other way around, because I want to keep all the colours clean. So just wipe off any excess ink in between changing colours. So there we are, there he is. Now I'm bringing in the powder pink marker pen. Again, using the brush tip just to add some highlights really to his face, particularly around his eyes, under his mouth, around his nose, in his ears, and down the side of his legs. That just makes him stand out a bit more and a bit more 3D looking and not quite as flat on the card. So this is my card just about finished. I've just got to glue the middle section into the inside of the card. Now I'm just going to smooth the glue around with my bone folder. I had a couple of bits of glue that were just a bit thicker in places, so that bone folder actually helps smooth that out. So here's my shiny pink pig on the front of my thank you cards. I hope my customers will like to receive these. I'm always doing thank you cards because I'm running out. I run out all the time. So I'm just adding some Wink of Stella to the middle of the card because the pig looked a little bit plain with the compared to the one on the front. So there he is. There's my card all finished today. And thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed my video, please do hit the like button, or even better, subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos like this one. There are more videos now. You can click any of the videos you can see on the screen, and also visit my website with the shop, or also click there to subscribe on the top left. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.